We are today down at Summer House Villas on Hilton Head Island. Property management company that we do work for sent us a referral. We bid the job, we got the job. What we're about to do is go over and discuss the before and after of these videos. We've gotten a lot of really good response from these videos where people have, so they're learning day by day, they're learning the good and the bad between contractors, and it's helping people understand our quotes as to other quotes and other job bids in our area. So, about to take the camera and go over here in a second. This was an original install here in Summer House. We're going to go over a couple things and show you what we're going to change out today. This supply plenum is going to be completely ripped out back to the damper. The access door is completely rusted and does not give you access to the damper if there's an issue. The air handler is an old Corsair, Ream, King Air, same thing, same line, not much difference at all between them. One of the things that is a huge pet peeve of mine is when air handlers are hung or supported by brackets on the back side like this right here. This is how this air handler is supported. I do not like it. Sometimes you have no other option but to go with a forward facing unit like this. Comes with the brackets to mount them on the back. The return box on the bottom of this, there's no pan underneath this. So what happens a lot of times is these units, as you can see, are old and rusted. And when they get old and rusted like this, the rust will fall down on the inside of the unit and get in the drain pan, and it comes out in the primary drain, which you see right here. This is a custom made P-trap. They make traps that are better than this one. This one right here has a bad, or I say history, of collecting a lot of contamination, and it doesn't really, the water can't push it out. It just gets stuck down in here and it causes a lot of issues. We've been out here a couple times this year for floods. This is just a ductboard box. There's nothing else inside of this. There's no emergency pan. You know, if this unit was to have a clogged drain line, it'll overflow and cause damage below, and then this homeowner is going to be responsible for the damages. So we like to do things the right way here at Hahn's. This is the door right here. You can clearly see the amount of rust that's inside this. I mean, you can take your hand and stick it down in here and just, it feels like a sand trap basically. It's just covered in sludge and dirt. So we're going to do this install the correct way today, or what we feel is the correct way. We're going to show you before and after video, and then we'll let you guys decide. We've had great response once again over these videos, so we're going to take our time and make it look good. We're back today to do our quality control check. Check refrigerant pressures, make sure that everything's the way that we like it, which is no issues. This is, we're going to start up top and discuss this. This is, and earlier I talked about the fire damper up here. This is a 12 by 12 access door. This is brand new, so you can get access to the fire damper, which is up there. Sometimes those clips will pop, and when they pop, it's easier to work on them when you actually can get your hand up there to replace the clip. You come down, we found an issue with the disconnect when we went to shut the power off. So what we've done is replace the electrical whip and a new disconnect over there on the wall. You can see it, it's a Mars. The disconnect handle was, when we pulled it, it did kill the power to the unit, but only half of the disconnect came out and the other half was in. Safety issue, we don't take chances with that kind of stuff. As we scroll down, we'll talk about the drain lines and the copper. As you can see, once again, all of our copper is bent. This is a 45 that we custom bent with the benders to allow for the liquid dried everything to be nice and straight. New insulation all the way down to the accessible point, which is the ground. The drain line is the same thing. I don't know if you noticed in the other video, but the drain line did not previously have insulation on it. What that can cause is, this is an outdoor closet. It can cause dripping and sweating on the traps. There was a little bit of issue with that. You can see it down here on the ground. So what we've done is re-insulated everything with 1 1/8". This is a float switch on your primary drain. You come back. These are the new AquaGuard float switches that we're trying out. These switches actually are a 2-piece kit. There's another one down here in the emergency pan, and then here's the other one right here. This is on the secondary drain. So the system is equipped with 3 safety float switches. We've installed a 24 by 24 emergency drain pan underneath this. That way, say if a drain line got clogged and float switch didn't trip and water poured out into the pan, that the homeowner is not going to have to pay for somebody sealing downstairs. Float switches should catch it. That's why we install them. This is also a brand new sheet metal return box that we've made that's lined with 1-inch duct liner. Overall, the job turned out perfect in my eyes. I don't see any issues with it. Refrigerant pressures are fine. We've made some adjustments, and everything will be fine. outside at the heat pump. What we're doing today is we're actually installing a Puron rated air handler. It's the FB class Bryant. What we're going to have to do is change the metering device, which is a piston in that unit, and match it to a 2008 213 R22 Bryant heat pump. Some people say that can't be done, so it's a sales pitch. It can be done. There's no reason to rip out a 2008 R22 unit. The unit's functioning fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but there are some things that we are going to talk about today. If you look real quick, if you scroll over here to the left, you'll see that there's a Goodman, and then you come back to this Payne, you come back to this Bryant, then you look at the company that installed this train. There is clearly a difference in the way that all these were installed, and it shows the difference between companies that actually take pride in their work, or that know what's going on, and will want to avoid the headaches and hassles in the future. This system here was changed out in 2008. The insulation, they never put in Armorflex back on this drain line right, or the suction line right here. It was never re-insulated. The tapes come apart. There's nothing on it. You can clearly see the amount of dirt and debris that has come around the bottom of these things. This is why we use those risers. We use the risers to keep this unit up and water draining out of the unit. It makes the job look better. The functioning of it is better because it's not just not having a bathtub on the inside of it when the maintenances aren't done on these things and dirt and debris gets clogged up in these drain pores. That's one of the #1 problems with heat pumps, is the bottom of the accumulators rusting out. So we're going to pick this unit up real quick, make this adjustment for the homeowner. We're going to cut and re-insulate that. We'll just zip tie it. You know, other than that, we have to cut copper and everything else. But we're going to get started on it. But I just wanted to point out, as you see a difference in all these putting, this is a decent install here. I don't see anything wrong with this install. They even put a pad down. The pad that's underneath this one is smaller, so we'll get another guy over here, 2 guys to lift this up. You got to make sure you don't keep the copper, and we'll put the risers underneath it and clean it up a good bit. Alright, you saw a second ago when we were showing you the heat pump, how it was down in the leaves, the debris, the mud, etc. No insulation or anything. This took us 10 minutes to do, but I want you to look at the difference. If you come up and look at the heat pump, you can see that we now have the 3-inch risers underneath it, so the dirt will be able to, won't clog the holes, the rainwater will be able to drain out the unit quicker, the bottom of the accumulator won't be sitting in a bird bath, so to speak. The Armorflex, we've re-insulated the suction line. You know, like I said, this took 10 minutes. And it shows that when you look at these 2 units, the company did an excellent job on this one. I know we're going to do an excellent job on this one. And if you look at all the other ones around us, it just shows that there is a difference when you choose a company to come do an install. You don't always want to go with the cheapest bid. You don't always want to go with the highest bid. You find that company that's in the middle, and you talk to them. Here at Hahn's, we'll work with anybody as long as it's apples to apples.